Hey everybody, welcome back. This week we're going to talk about how every conspiracy not only has the same exact structure, but the same exact cause. Well, the coronavirus seems to be making everybody go a little bit nuts, and I can tell that by the amount of coronavirus conspiracy theories that have come out. I was talking about this same psychological concept a couple weeks ago with mindset training guys, lecture bros as I call them, on Twitter, talking about how depression's not real, and all you have to do to get over your depression is to go do deadlifts and drink protein shakes. And truth be told, I'm a huge fan of deadlifts and protein shakes. May not be a cure-all for depression, yet those same lecture bros, those same mindset training guys will turn around and make some Twitter post about nostalgia. Oh, look at how manly men were back in the 1950s. Look at how thin and feminine women were back in the 1950s. It's like, no, you are depressed. It's just manifesting as nostalgia, as I argued, as a form of self-pity. And you see the same thing happening now, except with anxiety. Mindset training guys, lecture bros, oh, anxiety is not real. It's just your imagination. False evidence appearing real. That's all fear is. But then they turn around and when the coronavirus is happening, they are developing a whole bunch of conspiracy theories, or at least buying into the conspiracy theories. It's like, no, you are anxious. Your outlet for the anxiety is coming up with a story about it, the story that we call conspiracy theories. More evidence for this. I mean, just go online, go on YouTube and watch somebody try to explain their conspiracy theory. Does it seem well thought out? Does it seem well presented? Or does it come off as the ramblings of a lunatic, a bunch of disconnected facts? Oh, what about this? What about this? Completely unsupported. Much like when somebody comes into the clinic and they have anxiety, the way they talk about their life is very much the way conspiracy theorists talk about their conspiracies. And as another point of evidence that all conspiracies are essentially fueled by anxiety, not that there haven't been some truth to conspiracy theories. Like I always bring up Gulf of Tonkin. Right? That was a mismanaged government operation. I mean, what's the more likely scenario? That we concocted that scenario to get into Vietnam, or that was a fumbled scenario. And look, I mean, if government has the choice between expanding or contracting, what are they going to do? They're going to expand. It's just like this entity that we give free money to. So, it's going to tend to expand more than it contracts on its own. So it's going to look for reasons to expand, look for reasons to grow. Much more simple explanation for Gulf of Tonkin as an example, and a lot more realistic too when we understand. Go to the DMV, understand how most government works. Just not evil, just maybe more bad at doing their job. But another indication that conspiracies come from our anxiety is they all have the same structure. And part of this structure is the projection of anxiety. So the first part of every conspiracy is, at one point, humanity was living in a perfect state of togetherness and bonding. Maybe not humanity, but maybe our tribe, our group, our race, our political group, our ethnicity, whatever it is. And then an outside force came in, a cabal came in that disrupted our perfect state. Now, often, this cabal, throughout the 20th century, was represented as a bunch of men in stovepipe hats and three-piece suits sitting around a table making deals, behind closed doors where we're not invited, making deals. Of course, this is a projection of our anxiety. Now it may take the form of the CIA or the deep state. What's the real deep state? It's in here. It's the threats that you're not avoiding. Well, we're going to get to what anxiety is, but it's the threats that you're not avoiding that are uncomfortable to sit with. So you project it out and create this, in a sense, a rationalization, an excuse for the discomfort of feeling the anxiety. And then we need to sacrifice a part of ourselves to get back to this Eden-like state. But the point is that the cabal is simply a projection of your anxiety. And it's very similar, the structure of a conspiracy theory, it's very similar to the hero's journey. But what happens in the second act of when the hero really faces down the enemy for what it is? What does he realize in the atonement or the apotheosis? He realizes, oh wait, this thing that I was fighting throughout the whole second act or third act of a 4-act movie was me. It was a part of me. It was a projection, at the very least, of me. So really what the conspiracy theory is just some guy who got caught up in the third act of a 4-act play and not resolving the issue, not bringing the issue to the surface as represented by going into the third or fourth act. Look, the coronavirus, it's new. It's this new challenge. It's this new threat that we're all facing. And look, I think it's appropriate to have some anxiety about it. But there's still some things about it we don't know. But I think what's going on much more likely and much more prominently is we had this anxiety before, and now the coronavirus is just kind of digging it up and making us deal with it, right? I mean, if there's any ever silver lining, psychological silver lining to this pandemic, we're all trying to come up with several silver linings, but I think the good psychological silver lining here is realizing that the anxiety you're feeling now was there before the coronavirus. Now is your chance, and yeah, the coronavirus exposed it. Now is your chance to really deal with it, to really look at the anxiety for what it really is. Now, I don't blame conspiracy theorists. I don't blame Alex Jones. He doesn't know how anxiety works. Nobody's really come around and told him. But that's what we do here at Animus, is we deconstruct our basic emotions, exactly how they work, step by step. So when you do find yourself, look, if you find yourself creating or at least buying into conspiracy theories, it's fine. Just notice what part of anxiety that is. We deconstruct that. That's helplessness, right? A conspiracy theory is being helpless with your anxiety. Oh, it's not my issue that the CIA came in and did everything. Okay, that's fine, but now you know how anxiety is structured. First, you know what it is. You know how it's structured if you go read my ebook, watch more videos here on my YouTube channel, so you can take it back a couple steps and really ask yourself what's going on. Confront the issue for what it really is. 95% of the time, it's a conversation that you are not having with somebody who is important to you. Have those conversations, communicate better, confront the threat for what it is, and then tell me how real the conspiracy theory is. I think you'll go back and look at something like Gulf of Tonkin and go, oh, we just messed that up. All right, guys. But yeah, that's what we do here. AnimusEmpire.com/schedule. We do free consultations. If you don't know what direction to go in, I'll leave it there. Thank you, guys. Please like and subscribe. And always remember that when you're talking about your conspiracy theory, you may, in fact, simply be talking about yourself.